Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 90th episode of Let's Talk About Market. If we see the Nifty Index, it did see a bit of a volatility, but towards the end of the trading session, it almost gained over 100 points or so. And in fact, I just checked it just ended with more than 150 point gains, which is a good sign in the short term. Some of the important resistance level in the near term is broken on the upside. Now, what does it mean for the Nifty index? And more importantly, what was the expiry trend? I think these are all the things that we'll talk about. Let me quickly share my screen, and please let me know once you all are able to see my screen and you all are able to hear me properly. Let me open the chart of Nifty index. Till then, please confirm in the chat box if you all are able to hear me properly. Okay. Thanks for the confirmation, Akash. See, there are two important things that have happened today. One is that the Nifty index. See, during the day, it did try to break above the. Sorry, just give me a minute. I don't know. Sometimes, this has started to happen. Anyways, so see, it was how, there has been some whipsawing around the 40 hour, but nevertheless, it has managed to break above that. In fact, if I draw the, so wait, I have it drawn over here. So if you see on the hourly chart, now the next major hurdle is on the upper end of the channel, which is say somewhere around 25,390. So let's take a round figure of 25,400. Okay. I think that is now the level that the Nifty index needs to break above. Once it breaks above that, so then it will go for a retracement of 50, or at least 50 or 61.8% retracement. So the 38.2 will be at 25,475. 50% will be at 25,650 approx, and 61 will be somewhere around 25,820 or so. Okay. So these will be the levels that will open up once the Nifty index manages to break past 25, 25,400, which is the upper end of the falling channel. Now, I have been telling you to observe swing and so on, right? If you see the swing within a day, it has jumped from all the way from 40 to 80. And if we see the average swing, it has jumped to 32. Now, typically I would think that, so these are the extreme short term indicators that I've kept it. Now today we need to see what is the call minus put that happens. But if at all we end up seeing the call minus put in red, maybe in a day or two, and the daily swing is towards the upper end, and the Nifty index is trading below the 40-day, then I would expect some sort of pullback to happen. Uh, over here, if we see the 40 days all the way to up till 25,718 or so. So let's see, by today's end, how has this data unfold. So out of the 5-6 indicators that we were speaking about of the short term, which was swing, average swing. This call minus put had also hit a record reading over here. Then apart from that, we had the breadth, which is still around the lower end over here. But maybe, let's see if we see the improvement today, because these are all averages. So it might take a little time for them also to turn around. And plus, we also need to have a good breath. I think yesterday was one such day where the breath was okay, and today was the one. Today was the day where we almost saw 2,500 advances to 743 declines. So in that sense, in broad market terms, today was a very, very healthy day. The OIPCR 9MA, that also seems to have inched higher a bit, which is again a good sign. So uh, so all the other readings which were in oversold, they seems to be now coming out of this oversold zone. Even if we take the percentage of stock with RMI buy, that is also turning around. So if we have this situation where, say, percentage of RMI comes to around, percentage of stock with RMI buy comes to around 80, 90, and we have the average swing, sorry, the daily swing at 90. So these are a bit more faster indicators, right? Average swing is a little more slow indicator. So what sometimes happens is that, say for example, for uh, as I told you, for average swing to come towards the overbought zone, it may take some time, right? So typically, what happens is that you end up seeing something like this, you know, this sort of a scenario where you can see that over your swing, average swing have got to the overbought zone, but this is still somewhere in the middle over here. Then it will form some sort of divergence, and that is the point where average swing will come into the overbought zone, and that's where it leads to some sort of peak in the near term. I think this is what I would expect. That is because the average swing is still towards the lower end. So you might have this case where the average swing eventually rises higher, and you may see something of this sort in average swing where it forms divergence, and only then it leads to a correction. So in such case, ideally what we would end up seeing is the Nifty index doing a 50 or a 61.8% retracement of this decline. So that is what I had spoken about it earlier as well, and this is what it looks like at this point of time. Now, few things that needs to be watched very closely is, we are still some time away, but we would want to see how the weekly close is happening, because now the cycle is complete, and whether it comes back above the 40 or no. Does it manages to close above the 40, week or no? So that is one thing that will be closely watched. Apart from that, another important development that has happened today is that the India VIX has fallen meaningfully. Okay, and it has gone below the 14 level. So this was, a bit scary, because it was breaking about 14, and it did sustain a day above it, but now it has gone down. So this also makes the current low an important swing low to watch out for. And as I told you, for me, if you ask me at what point will we negate the bearish outcomes, because see, right now, as the overall trend is down, it may look like this was a decline, then there is a pullback, and then again it can head lower. Okay, this case seems to be possible. I'm not sure whether it will happen or not, but we'll take a call once the Nifty index, say, bounces back to around 50 or 61 point retracement, and from there we'll see, how things actually unfold. Because at this point of time, you know, the bear argument is also strong, the bull argument is also strong. So that's why, I'm not trying to conclude anything. So but yes, if you ask me honestly, is the risk there that we end up testing this kind of low in the short to medium term? The answer would be yes, mainly because one was that the RMI on the weekly is in sell, and there is still no signs of a turnaround. Even in monthly, this did not get, the monthly RMI did not give a bullish crossover, and this month it may turn down. So that is why, these are the risks that are potentially there. How does it play out, we'll need to see. There are few sectors that seems to be trying to make a comeback. One was is, we had spoken about this of small cap, where I think almost around 61.8% retracement is what it has done. Almost, I'm saying. Of course, micro cap had gone way too much on the downside. Mid cap also now trying to make a comeback. So these are some good signs. Where the broad market seems to be stabilizing, but then there are some sectors that are doing well, and I think PSU was of the, was a surprise package today. Uh, it did manage to break above this falling trend line, and it has broken above the swing low. At one point of time, I was considering, can this be a pattern that PSU would be forming. But today it has actually taken, I mean, yesterday it has taken the support of 40-day, and today it has given a bullish crossover. So I'll be highly hopeful that it tries to bounce back towards this high and probably even inch higher, because we had spoken about this, right? That from a medium to long term perspective, there is still room left on the upside. And I think this is where the action also can happen. uh, and I'll tell you, like, see, I'm not sure, what is happening exactly in PSU, but all I was seeing today was all the stocks which are not performed. They did well. Something like ONGC, out of nowhere, it saw a move like 8-9%. Not something that is very very common. You see, Oil India, again a similar move. In fact, it was oil and gas basically, which pretty well. I think it was Gale, and apart from that, it was defense as well. So Gale, if you see, was 5%. If you see HAL, that did pretty well. If you see BEL made a new all-time high today, and there is a nice cup and handle pattern that is breaking out from here. I mean, where it seems to be breaking out. So, in that sense, if you see, PSU were did very very well. I think capital good. Frankly, I am a bit surprised because there were so many charts that were breaking down. I'm still not too sure of capital index, capital good space, but within that, we have many of the stocks like, say, Hindustan Aeronautical, BEL, and so on. Those comes into the capital good space, where over there the setups look good, but there are many stocks that seems to be either breaking down or weak. So this needs a selective approach over here. And apart from that, metals, already it seems to be doing pretty well. So so if you see metal, that seems to be doing well. Power is again, I mean, long term the charts are very good. Whether it is bottoming or out or what, we don't know. But again, this needs to be seen very closely what it does. Uh, but yeah, I mean, apart from that, reality and all, since they have, uh, you know, I mean, fallen so much, you can end up getting bounced. But I think looking at strength is, I mean, trying to be in the stocks or the sectors where there is strength is where you need to be focusing on. Now see, I'll just give you one example. It was Acutas. I mean, this we had given couple of times, but this now it is coming into result season, and due to result it had spiked almost around 8%. But you see the pattern. I mean, these are the kind of stocks we would want to see, where they are rising higher, and at the 40-day they take support and they keep rising higher. uh, if you find such setups, those are the ones which usually do pretty well. Okay. So yeah, I mean, see, I have already taught you all this, but anyways, I'll try to again recap it, how to find such setups. But that is there. Apart from that, auto, as I told you, I'll keep a very close eye on this, what it does over here. But in general, auto is not looking good, because if you see the RRG, the momentum, it is basically losing momentum. In fact, I just noticed, you see the pattern of PSE. It is just turning around. These are always nice pattern to have. Same thing happening with metal. So these are all on the daily chart, which means that in the near term the outlook should be good. Apart from that, if you see the weekly chart, this is the bother point for me for autos. Not so good. Oil and gas seems to be bouncing back, but like I told you yesterday also, these are the sectors where you need to be, where there is strength. So PSC comes over here, MNC comes over here. Okay. Energy seems to be turning around, but it is just coming out of woods. But if you see bank, private bank, financial service, metals, uh, and to certain extent PSU bank, since it is also bouncing back, these are the ones where the strength and the momentum is there on the weekly chart, which means for the next few weeks at least, they should be good, doing good. And that's where probably you would want to focus more on. So that's there. And apart from that, just keep an eye. We are heading towards the monthly close in 2 to 3 days, so you might want to see what happens over here. So for example, say on the monthly charts, I am just doing Nifty total market. So of course you need to keep an eye which are the ones which are also giving sell on the monthly charts. Okay, there are almost about 29 stocks where you will be getting sell. So you need to be careful of those stocks. And apart from that, also keep on radar which are the ones which are giving buys as well. These are all. So see, now we saw that PSC looks good, and within that, if you see Coal India, the setup looks interesting over here. You might want to keep an eye on this. Then apart from that, HCL Tech. Okay, this also comes as a surprise, but you can see how nicely the 40 is held, and now it is trying to give a bullish crossover. Something similar happening in Infi JSL. So JSL has been an outperformer. Let me just. Okay, it is almost around the highs, and maybe you might want to keep this on the radar. But there are many metal stocks that seems to be coming. Midhani again is a metal stock, PSU metal. Emphasis. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of IT stocks are coming. I didn't notice that. Techem also has a good chart setup, because if you see over here, it's a nice cup and handle. So surprisingly, IT is coming up in the list of monthly buy, and there are some PSUs that are coming. This makes it interesting. Rain industry is also coming. So yeah, I mean, you might want to play around with this and see where is it that the signals are coming, and where is it that you may want to concentrate. Because see, if at all, I would imagine that if at all the Nifty index does manage to break above this high, I mean the 61.8% retracement, then I think PSUs will be the one which may do very well, because of the reasons I have told you, right? I mean, it's a multi-year breakout. There has been decent correction as well. It will have much more legs on the upside to go. I would tend to imagine that. Uh, uh, and yeah, so yeah, broadly these are the things that you may need to watch out for. And one final thing which I want to show you, I don't know how many people might have missed this, but these are the scans that you may want to put on the stocks. In fact, there is one more scan then that you can do, that which are the stocks that would have not, I mean, that would have been above the 20-month average. I think 20-month, most of them will be. Anyways, let us try to check the list. 20-month. So let's see from where shall we do it. Actually, Nifty has been holding about 20-month as well. I'm not sure how far we can go with this. So I think it is 2021 is where we can do. So yeah, I mean, these are the list of stocks that seems to be coming. Okay, now you see over here. It is BEL, Bharti Airtel, Federal Bank. These are like absolute outperformers. You can see HCG, there has been a decent correction from the top. But these are the ones basically. ICICI also looks interesting. There is some consolidation happening over here. M&M, Minda Corp. Okay, we are not getting much list in this. Oh, Sarda Energy also comes into this list. I did not notice that. Solar. So yes, this is also one interesting way that you might want to see, or like we do, 40 week, and you keep the look back. So not so okay. We'll keep it 2025, and we'll keep it from when. Let me see the Nifty index. So actually, we might want to see from September 2024, which is from this high, who were the ones that were holding. So these are the list of stocks. Oh, we don't have any such stock. No. Okay. So see, there are only four stocks in this. Acuitas, Bharti Airtel, which is, Bharti Airtel was the one that has always held this, and that is now coming to the 40V. So this can be an interesting setup. Even car trade, similar setup. Choice, International, Loris Lab. Okay, these were the ones. See, if you want to do such scans and try to play around, now from September we might end up doing say 4th of March. Okay, because that's where the bottom happened. So let's see, I mean, at the bottom, who were above the 40 week. So let me take 7th March. Again, just these few stocks. Okay, there were few that have got added, which is Naveen Fluorine has got added. Manapuram has got added in this list. UPL surprisingly has got added, and which is now trying to turn around. Eicher Motors is the other one. So these are the ways that you can try and find who are the outperformers. So that will help you to be with the winners. Now, this, of course, I have done it just the total market. But if you end up doing all stocks, there might be some junk stocks that you may get. So say AB Infra, I mean, this looks good because this has been more like a consolidation. But yeah, I mean, you can do such scans over here so that this can help you to catch the outperformers. So this is Baheti. Then I think you will end up getting a lot of interesting stocks in this as well. Kandar, half of the names, frankly, I haven't even listened. I mean, I haven't heard those names as well. Okay, surprisingly, financial services comes into the list. So yeah, you can try these out. There can be some interesting stocks that you might end up getting. Of course, not daily, weekly. You can do anything. In fact, from here, basically the market went through a phase of correction, right? 23rd October. So you can also do something like this: that give me the list of stocks that are trading above, say 50 EMA since 23rd October. That means since last 5 months or so. Now see, you end up getting 53. No, I think this list will change. Wait, let me just see. Yeah, now we have only just 4 or 5 stocks. But yeah, I mean, you might want to do all these analysis and see where is it that you are getting some good setups. Wait, let me just try and see, at least in this decline. So say from 5th of Jan to the current fall, which are the ones that were holding above the 50 day. Okay, I'm just keeping some margin. Oh, sorry, that was my bad. I was doing since 2024. Sorry, that is my bad. 23rd of October. It takes some time to load because there are a lot of calculations that are running at the back end. But yeah, see, now you can see over here AB Capital. Now over here you can get many interesting lists. So basically, these are the ones that are outperformers that you may want to concentrate on. Okay. Uh, and one last thing, if you are a very short term trader, say for example, you might also want to do a scan running from 5th of Jan. Basically in this decline, who are the ones that have not broken the low. So wait, let me just do it for total market first. Total market. So many of the very small stocks, they might get out of this list. Let me just refresh it once again just to make sure that the list is correct. Yeah, so there are these 53 stocks that are there: Ather, Ajanta Pharma, and so on. So, these are the ways that you can really, try to, find the outperformers and so on. And, you can try to filter out those stocks. So, see, I have tried to give you many, many different ways. I mean, one I did was on monthly chart, I did on weekly chart, I did on daily chart. So that's how, you can try to filter out those stocks, which are actually very good outperformers, and that should help you to catch the stocks which are in momentum. So with that, I think I'll take up questions. So yes, you're right. PSU Bank features in that list because you can see over here Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, none of them have broken. I think even the Union Bank, which you mentioned, yeah, that also comes into the list. So yes, you're right. I mean, such outperformers will be you will get to know it over here. Okay, I mean that's where you may want to concentrate more on. In RRG, metal is showing relative strength and momentum. Can we take trade despite? So see, Dinesh, please try to understand one thing. Okay, you have to see RRG is something that will help you to understand what is happening in the near term, but you always have to I mean, you will need to take a big picture call as well. Okay, so say for example, I think I had mentioned this to you, I mean to everyone, that see, metal had gone through this cup and handle pattern breakout and it moved higher, right? Now cup and handle pattern, to all those of y'all who don't know, is basically a continuation pattern, which means that there is a break. So just imagine this, Dinesh, that there has been a 1 year breakout that we have seen, in fact 1.5 year breakout that we have seen in metals. And if you keep that in context, it is possible that this rally may have some legs. That is because 1 year of consolidation does not end in 1 to 3 weeks of up move. More importantly, you have to understand this thing, that while the Nifty index was correcting and everything was getting screwed, metal held the 20-day also. I mean, it did not even break below the 20-day. That sort of tells you the strength that the metal index has, right? Now the second part is the monthly chart. I mean, I so metal index, wait, yeah, metal index on BSE has a much more history than what you see in NSE. And you and this was also something that I've spoken about. See, this is like a almost a 15-16 year kind of breakout that is happening. So this is meaningful. See, in this case, earlier what we were trying to figure out was that is there a case that we correct and then go up and so on. But so far, I mean, given that it has broken out already, I mean, all you would want to think is that till the time the averages are not broken on the downside, you have to be with the momentum. Now, at some point of time, those averages will get broken, and sometimes you might end up seeing your stop losses getting triggered as well. You can't escape that. Okay, so when will that happen? I don't know, but as of now the trend is up, and you need to be in those momentum stocks and sectors if you want to chase momentum. Okay, I mean, if you have an approach of buying which are beaten down and where you have some safety and so on, then that's a very different approach altogether. Sid is asking what are the underlying indicators for RMI. So it is basically so say the list of, I mean, it is broadly based on the momentum or the rate of change, you can say. I mean, those are the underlying calculation that goes under it. Uh, IOC is in that list. I don't know. I don't think so. IOC will be there. And if you ask me why IOC is not there, because I'm sure IOC might have broken the averages. I mean, it is already breaking below the averages, so of course it cannot come into that list. Only in the weekly it is above the weekly averages since September 2025. So yeah, I think I hope you have understood how to scan the strong stocks, because that is more important. Because as we know in markets, wait, I think there is a question. No, no. So I don't know if ADR. I'm not sure what is ADR. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the rate of change ROC, it is based on that SID. So I mean, I think yeah, MACD is based on two averages, but yeah, RMI, like I told you, it gauges momentum and the rate of change. Basically, that's what I can reveal. Um, so yeah, as I was saying that in this market, not this market, but anywhere, the stocks which are stronger, they will continue to be strong, and the ones that are weak will continue to be weak. I mean, that is how the markets have played out. So that's where, I mean, if you're a short term trader, it is wise to chase momentum. If you're a medium to long term investor, maybe you might want to find where is it that a lot of correction has happened and which can mean revert, and that can give you good price wise movement. So it's a strategy which people can adopt based on their needs, but I have tried to show you the relevant ones which we look at. But please go and explore strike. That's where you will, I mean, the more you explore, you will be able to understand what are the data points that we are providing and what will be helpful to you. Okay. Dinesh says which is more important. So so Dinesh, for short, I mean, in the simple moving average, which comes with the Bollinger Band, is the 20-day SMA, and for EMA we use 40-day. Sometimes what happens is that the 40-day breaks on the downside and the prices comes back again above it. So that's why for that safety, I mean, you know, just to make sure that I don't lose out on those stocks. That's why I'd kept 50 EMA. But normally we use 40 EMA, and at least we at India Charts we use 40 EMA, and 50 EMA is just to filter out so that we don't miss out on the stocks which might have broken 40 week marginally. Okay, so I think I've tried to address all the questions, and it's 5:35. So let's wind up for today. We can catch up tomorrow at 5 p.m. and see how the Nifty index behave. But as of now, at least in the near term, things look good. Watch out for the resistance at 25,400. If that gets broken on the upside, then maybe some 2 3 400 points on the upside could still open up. But 25 400 is where the upper end of the falling channel is. So need to see if that is broken decisively or not. Okay. So that's it for today. Let's catch up tomorrow at 5 p.m.